Where the is everything? Dear. Where is what I'm after?
Hello, Mike. Long time no see.
Oh,
No,
where?
I've been on Vic-Hole for like 2 months. Still a recruit, unfortunately.
That'll be that way for a while, won't it? Takes a while to get off recruit.
A little bit, you know.
I feel like that car
Took everyone
outside.
2 weeks, really, but when you're slow learner, it takes a while.
That car.
Oh god, no.
Hello.
Hi.
How
Do
are
we
you
got
two?
another sheriff or?
I
Sorry.
think Mike Wright's here, and there's
Yeah,
Sheriff
we've
Odinson
got-
as well, so there's at least 3.
Yeah, got at least 2 others.
Has anybody else showed up yet?
Not yet.
We're just waiting on the defendant cookie.
Wait, what about
Sheriff,
OPP?
do
We
you
wait
have
on
trades?
them as well, or?
There's
We've got the lawyer and the suspect.
apparently the lawyer.
Arriving.
The OPP, I think it's
Currently,
supposed to be
the
here.
lawyer and suspect just
That's
arrived.
right. So that's we're pretty much running to time. Slightly late.
I mean, that don't normally happen exactly at the time.
No, that's true.
It's
I'll
the
run
case I
upstairs
took
then.
like a week ago.
Yeah.
Steven, he was supposed to be on the case with me, but he never showed up. I waited like 30 minutes on him and he never showed up.
Stephen Borelli, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. No,
I
gone on
was
leave.
like, I even sent him private emails and saying, hey, are you showing up? We're waiting on you. And after 30 minutes, I said, well, I gotta start this case.
Yeah. Wow. Okay.
I'll
Well,
head
in
up.
future, yeah.
Hey,
If
if
that
he
ever
wasn't
happens
able to
again,
show up, he
if
could
that
have
happens
just.
again.
Where is that new muscle? Wrong muscle. Oh, bugger. I'm on the wrong job role. Whoops, wrong job role. Wrong one. Do this case, or at least as much of it as I can. And then I'll have to think about flying out.
Oh.
I'm coming up, just had to think about swapping to the different role.
Here's the thing, Stephen. I can't swap because I'm on recruit. But is OPP up there and ready to proceed?
No, they thought we were at the 506 courthouse. They'll be here shortly.
Would you like the defense side to what's the Macaulay head up to the courthouse?
If you could keep them in the holding cells just next to the courtroom.
Copy
until
that.
prosecution and everyone's ready.
Indeed, Stephen.
It's just a bit like that sometimes.
It is a bit like that, isn't it?
Yeah. Oh, crying. You know, you get on top of everything and keep on top of everything.
Oh Lord.
I didn't have a great sleep last night, so that doesn't help.
Yeah, I remember seeing you last night. You were on my case last night as well, correct?
Yeah, I came and then I left. I couldn't stick around, unfortunately.
Nah, it's okay.
Might be able to stick around for the whole thing if it runs a bit later than I'm expecting. But anyway.
Yeah, that's fair.
I'll make sure someone is, what do you call it?
She's bringing them up to your holding cells now, correct?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. You're bringing them up to the holding cells, correct?
Wait, what's going on?
Just the other sheriffs. Just trying to find out what they're up to.
Wait, has OPP got here yet, or?
No. But the defendant and his lawyer's here.
Sit in that front row.
Well,
Nope, that is completely fine.
Defendant and his lawyer are here.
Is it Tian?
I'll just go downstairs and
Lexi.
see if
Yeah, it's a bit of a complex one. Just call
They're
it Lexi,
here.
Your Honor. She likes that.
Okay, perfect.
Usually it's the other way around. Usually they get people to be lawyers first and then go to magistrates.
Yeah, well,
Fair enough.
I just, went up to Orson and I was like, you guys hiring magistrates? Because, but looking at it now, I actually kind of want to be a lawyer, but I'm more than happy to wait. Get experience in magistrates first in the law field and make me a better lawyer.
No, fair enough. A strong understanding of the courts, that's for sure, Your Honor. I might just go
yeah.
say hi to the Honourable Orson and then I'll
That's
see
okay.
you around.
That sounds good.
I was the complete opposite. I was a lawyer. I was a defense lawyer for about 1.5 years before I became a magistrate. So
Yeah,
I had
no.
quite a bit of prior experience as being a lawyer before I became a magistrate. So that did make becoming a magistrate a lot easier because I knew kind of what to expect. Being in the
Oh, that's fair.
courtroom many times before.
Your Honourable Card, Mr. McLeish would like to speak with you. Is it alright if he heads up?
Yes, he can head up now. Mr. Cart is heading into the holding cells. Can I get the ETA on the accused being in the holding cells?
I believe there was some queue. We're still down at Sheriff 900, so we can go up to the court
We can head
holding
up
cells
now.
now.
Did you need me to
Yes, please.
give you a lift?
Yes, sir.
Steven.
Yep.
We've got a recruit that's here. They've just gone to change their job role.
Yeah. Okay, that's who you left, was it? That's
Yep.
Ricardo.
Hey, Mr. Sheriff Anderson said you requested me?
Ah, Sam. How are you?
Not bad, how are you?
That's good. I'm good, thanks. What the hell?
I don't know.
You must be busy out there. Don't know if that's quite appropriate.
What?
Carrying the defendant up.
Just giving this old gentleman a lift.
Yeah.
Am I able to watch this case? Or?
I can check with Orson. Are you here as APP or Vic Pol? I don't know.
I'm watching this case as OPP.
Okay.
I'm not part of the prosecution as such, but I'm
I'm just checking that because you got a few roles. So I'm checking which one you're coming as.
Well, if I've got the suit on, then I'm clearly OPP. So.
Okay. Still like to check. Your Honour, is it alright if another member of OPP comes up and watches? It's Sam.
Could you say that again, please?
Is it alright if another member of OPP comes up and watch? It's Samantha.
Yes, it's an open court today.
I
just, sorry, that's what I was meant to do. I was meant to open.
No, all good. I just thought I'd check. No worries. You can definitely watch. It's open.
Okay.
Hey, Sir Devin.
Yeah?
Just give me a search.
I got told by this dude that I'm the bailiff because I'm a recruit or something.
Yes. You will be.
I did a mock case, so I kind of know some knowledge of being a bailiff.
Just to let you know as well, if he is stuck with anything, then Stephen is one of the FCOs that can help you out with it.
Yep. Yeah. You're fine, Sam. Sorry. Just...
All good.
Yeah, so just come up, and once you get up there, make sure you take your vest off. Everyone's coming.
Or maybe the recruit can caution him.
Yeah.
All good. You do it, Mr. Recruit.
Sure, let me get my caution thing up.
Going head to the demon requesting food.
How are you today, Stephen?
Good, thanks. Can everyone please clock on in emails?
Oh yeah, I keep forgetting those.
Yeah, all good.
That's
sorry, why I'm
brain's
reminding
on
you.
police mode.
Yeah, I know. I get the same way, don't fret. I'm like, oh yeah, I better clock on.
I remember this is questions. Oh, so, I am Sheriff Officer Ricardo Barbatano. You're currently in the custody of the Victorian Department of Justice. You'll be held in our custody until your trial, which is likely in how long?
X amount of minutes.
Soon. Just say soon.
And your trial, which is likely to be soon, If you require time to contact a lawyer or a loved one, please let us know.
Sure.
Please also let us know if you need any food or water, as this can be arranged. Please know that you are not permitted to talk in the courtroom unless you're granted leave. So to do so from the judge or a magistrate. You must also keep all the language civil, no swearing or other
derogatory
comments are permitted.
Yeah, understood.
Perfect.
Yeah. So at the moment, just got to wait here. That's what the magistrate has requested. So yeah.
Yeah, that's fine.
Just waiting on OPP. I'm pretty sure.
So who's the suspect?
This guy.
Wyatt.
Well, what's his name?
Oh.
No, what's your name?
My name's JJ.
He's the defendant. So,
Oh, yeah.
also classed as suspect.
Oh, so
yeah.
he's presiding over himself.
No, he's got a lawyer that's going to defend him.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but he's classed as the defendant.
I was just wondering because obviously he's not in cuffs or anything like that.
Yeah,
so I was,
because
like, confused.
Yeah, because he's out on bail.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
He's
Otherwise,
taking
yes, he
pictures
would be.
also. Yeah.
He's
taking pictures out there.
Don't know.
Also, and he's doing setting a bad example, man.
I'll just run downstairs and check if OPP have arrived.
OPPs, as in the prosecution.
Yeah.
They're standing by their desks now.
Are they? Oh, okay.
They've been here for about
What for the photos?
Yeah.
No, I'm bleeding out because
Mr. Palms?
Hello, how's it going?
How you going? Not
Good,
too
thanks.
bad, not too bad.
That's good.
Stephen, are you going to keep me safe
Mr.
there,
Palms,
big
do
fella?
you know someone who can perhaps organise a photo for me? I've been told you might know something about that.
A photo? What sort of photo?
ID.
Oh, Tory Brooks.
Tory Brooks is best, alright.
Like, anyone can technically take a photo, but if you want something professional, it's... You
Well,
know.
I can't. I need help getting it into my ID. I can't get it into my ID. Whoa,
Yeah.
that was close. That was so close. That was crazy close.
How tough is this, Stephen?
So... Yeah.
I did that one myself.
Yeah, what you've done is you've used a square image instead of a rectangle.
Oh, our photo's not loading. Oh, there you go. Tory Brooks did that for me.
Sheriff's to magistrate.
Yes, Skibbity Riz has posted on Squawk. I'm so excited.
Skibbity toilet.
Thank you.
So, are we waiting on anyone, or is everyone here?
I talking about the toilet in the
Probably
courthouse.
chuck them
Someone
in
in
the
there?
way or the holding cell.
I was good before a court case.
Unknown. He just received a phone call. He was just requesting if he could answer it.
Yeah, just make him put it on speaker.
Hey,
You
Duncan.
need to go.
Just
You
to make
need
sure,
to go.
like, it's
Hey, what's up?
So it's just you and your defendant, correct?
Yeah, that's
For that
right.
side, yeah.
Just
Yep,
the
I'm
kids
just
in the holding
trying.
cells.
Yeah, I'm just trying to find out if we're waiting on anyone or what the go is.
I think we're good to go. Yeah, I don't.
Yeah.
Just the magistrates. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hi, ma'am.
I might have to dip mid-case because I've got other inquiries, you know.
Oh, sorry, stand up.
Okey-doke.
Will you?
Oh, good.
My lord.
Stephen, I
Yeah.
might have to dip mid-case. I've
Yeah,
got to fly out
it does.
soon.
Yeah, I don't know. I might have to as well if it goes for too long.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Yes, awesome.
Ah.
I'll probably have to fly out now, but I'll catch
Yeah.
you
I'm gonna go have a look at
later
all
on.
Yep,
the
no
evidence
worries.
momentarily. I've got all that.
So guys, are we waiting for anyone from your side?
Sorry, Stephen, we're just trying to do something, sorry.
No, I'm just checking whether we're waiting for anyone from your side. That way I can let everyone know.
No, not anyone from our side.
No worries.
I've got Section 81 there.
Section 81 is it? We need to search out.
We've got everyone apparently. So,
Did you need to talk to Ocean as well, Honorable King?
I don't know. I'll have to go see it, so I have no clue.
yeah, I'll go check on everyone.
Sheriff's to magistrate.
They're just having a quick chat at the moment. Give them a minute.
Copy.
I've been warned that he's going to.
How many sheriffs do we have for this case?
3, including myself, at the moment.
Okay, which sheriffs are they?
One's a recruit.
What do you mean by arrest powers?
Sheriffs, is everybody in place and in position, ready to go?
And the other one?
Sorry, I just had a thing in my head. Sorry about that.
Sheriffs,
Let me
is
check.
everybody in place and ready to go?
It's Tyrone. Apparently also Mike Ray.
We've just got the defendant still at the cells.
Wait.
Are you happy for him
No, I
to
don't think Tyrone's here. Might be
brought
just
into the courthouse
Mike.
now?
I'm not
Okay,
sure.
because we need, yeah, because we do need like 2 for this case.
Yeah.
So I just don't want us to fall below and then me having to step in, you know.
Yep. Let me just see if Tyrone is actually here. I know he's been clocked on for ages, so I'm not sure if he is here. Oh yeah, Tyrone is here. Okay. Hey. Oh.
Keep walking
Am I allowed to go
forward.
in?
Yeah.
Ugh.
Just head up to the.
I just got popped in my head for a minute.
Yeah, all good. All good.
We're standing here.
Sheriffs, is everybody in place and ready to proceed? Sheriffs, is everybody in place and ready to proceed?
I'm just getting everybody ready, Your Honor.
Okay, and you guys know how to welcome in the magistrates?
I'll get Ray to let the bailiff know. Your Honor, unfortunately we're not familiar with how to reach.
We haven't been trained in the new aspect of welcoming Your Honours into the courthouse at this time.
Okay, so what you want to do is the bailiff will stand at the front and say, all rise for the honourable judges, or the honourable magistrates, Kai Louisiano and Cookie.
I guess you can ask for it to be struck then if it's not on the public record. Yeah. We also like we don't really have subpoenas in the MCV. You only really have court orders from the magistrate. Yep. Yep. Correct. It's, yeah, like the magistrate can order it, but if it's not, yeah.
Oh.
Alright, honorable judge, honorable magistrates, Carlos, Ziano, and Cookie King.
Alright, gentlemen, we all need all the galleries to rise up for us.
Sorry for that, Your Honour. It's just we were all learning it all at once.
That's okay.
How disrespectful, sir.
Please be seated. Give me 2 moments. Okay, good evening ladies and gentlemen of the court. My name is Magistrate Kylo Idiano, and on behalf of the Magistrates Court of Victoria, I welcome you to the courtroom today for the case of the state versus Mr. JJ Bellick. I'd like to begin by acknowledging the traditional owners of the land on which we meet today. I would also like to pay my respects to the elders and past and present and emerging, and especially welcome any elders in the room with us today. Defendant Mr. Bellick, could I please get your full name and the full name of your legal representation?
Your Honor, if I might answer this part and any questions going forward, besides witness statements.
You may.
Your Honor, my name is Duncan McLeish, representing Bravo Legal Officers on behalf of Mr. JJ Bellick.
Okay, perfect. Thank you so much. And prosecution, can I please get your full name and rank?
Lexi Rose Rhodes Pilly, Crown Prosecutor, Your Honor.
Wayne Johnny Kendall, Crown Prosecutor.
Perfect. And are we all familiar with the court system?
Yes, Your Honor.
Yes, Your Honor.
Would
Yes,
we
Your
like
Honor.
an explanation of how it would work?
No, Your Honor.
No, Your
Okay,
Honor.
we may move forward. Okay. Give me 2 seconds. To the prosecution, could you please lay out the charges that you were planning to put upon Mr. Bellick?
Yes, Your Honor. So the first one's
I got my AC on because it was getting
possess a
hot.
large quantity of a drug dependence. The second one's going to be cultivation of narcotic plants. The second one's going to be carry a weapon concealed without legal authority. And the fourth one, we're going to go force bail to stop for police.
And the second one was cultivation of narcotic plants?
Yes, Your Honor.
Sorry. What? I didn't catch that.
And could you continue?
Can I be let out quickly, please? I have to
Weeks
go
will
to
be
the hospital
looking
and
for
have
the
a...
Yeah, all good.
Sorry, what you stated after cultivation of narcotic plants.
Cultivation of narcotic plants. It's going to be carrying a weapon concealed without legal authority.
All good.
And failed to stop for police.
Yeah, just checking.
Perfect, thank you so much. Defendants, how do you plead to the charge of possess a large quantity of drug of dependence?
Your Honor, we'll be pleading not guilty to all charges today.
Perfect. Okay, the prosecution may begin with their opening statements.
While list on duty for Vicpol deployed as Polo 31 on the 3rd, 2025 at 8:32 AM, Officer Joey Windsor, Ben Ghost Costello, Zoe Ashley, Special Constable David Windsor, and Special Constable Wiggy
Don't forget to
Donovan
clock
were
on in
over the
emails.
Palema Highlands on the way to
I'll clock
St. Philip's
tomorrow if he's
Island.
not here.
On their way back from the island, Officer Zoe Ashley noticed a mule truck parked in the mountains right on the cliff edge with one
you gotta
male
do both.
taking care of some plants next to the vehicle. Detective Sergeant Ben Ghost Costello was the pilot of Polo 31, authorized a landing next to the vehicle so that officers could go and talk to the individual and see what he was up to, as it was suspected that he was manufacturing drugs. Senior Constable Windsor and Senior Constable Ashley disembarked the helicopter and shouted down to the suspect to stay where he was so officers could discuss his activities. However, once he saw the officers getting out of the helicopter, he had seized his activities and attempted to get into his truck and flee. Forward onto the interaction, he was cautioned and placed into custody. The OPP believe we have significant evidence to find the defendant guilty of all charges and will be recommending 180 weeks in the MRC and minimum fines, Your Honour. This concludes our opening statement.
Thank you, and do you plan to call any witnesses to the stand today?
Not at this time, Your Honour.
Okay, thank you. Defense may start with their opening statement.
Sure, Your Honor. I might just start off and provide some context on what happened today. Start off with my client, Mr. JJ Bellick, is an elderly gentleman who was peacefully farming cocoa seeds intended for coffee production. Suddenly, without any warning, a Pol Air 31 helicopter appeared overhead, and shortly after, multiple police vehicles approached rapidly over the hillside. My client was overwhelmed and frightened, and all of a sudden, police came over the hill with weapons drawn.
What?
My client saw armed officers running towards him. Given his age and vulnerability, Mr. Bellick experienced significant distress. The prosecution today has provided no photographic or video evidence to demonstrate that any evasion or non-compliance with police by my client, and are relying solely on statutory declarations. Today, the defense will demonstrate that the search and seizure conducted by police lacked reasonable suspicion and violated police standard operating procedures. The prosecution has not presented sufficient lawful evidence to justify the arrest or the charges brought forward today. The principle of innocent until proven guilty has not been respected due to the inadequate proof to substantiate the charges today. The defense today will be bringing forward a motion to suppress evidence. We argue that evidence numbers 4 through 10 were obtained illegally and should be deemed inadmissible in court, as police actions were not justified by law or the Big Pol standard operating procedures. If I might just expand on that motion, today the illegal search and seizure, number 1, police failed to establish any reasonable suspicion, not following police Vic Pol procedures. If you'll see evidence Exhibit A from the defense today, reasonable suspicion must exist for detaining and searching any suspects. Suspects must also be clearly informed of their rights and reason for arrest.
Your Honour, may I please object to the evidence that he was bringing forward today?
I wasn't sure where to put this part. It might not need to be in the
what would your objection be?
Opening statement.
So, as that this is just police policy and there is no actual citations to any legislation or common law, this may not, you know, possibly be 100% accurate as to what legally we are able to do in terms of police powers, as well as the fact that I believe.
Sorry,
I'm not
are
too
you
sure.
objecting, or are you willing to add something to that?
It's an opening statement, Your Honour. I wasn't sure where to put this, the motion to suppress evidence, so I'm just briefly
Hey, Earth
going
Warrior,
over
how are you?
That is fine.
Essentially, I'll wrap it up here. Essentially, due to the fact that the arrest and search today was done illegally, the evidence can't be used in court.
Just give her a search.
I'll leave it there for my opening statement, Your Honour.
Thank you. Do you plan to call any witnesses to the stand today?
I'll call upon my client to describe his experiences today.
Okay, thank you. Your client may come to the stand. Mr. Bellick,
Thanks,
I will
Mike.
get the bailiff to get you to undergo your oath.
Hello, sir.
You've got the...
Hi,
Hello?
sir. Do you believe in God today? Do you believe in God today?
Yes, I do. I'm a man of God, yes.
Alright, do you know the oath, or would you,
I don't think so. I'll need to hear it. You need it fresh.
Alright, just yep, alright, so just repeat after me.
What's he up to?
I swear Almighty God.
Say that again, sorry.
I
Mike,
swear
can you sit
Almighty
back
God.
down? Go back to where you
I
were,
swear
please.
Almighty God.
I was trying to
That the
help him
evidence I
with
shall
this 'cause he
give will
wasn't
be the
sure
truth.
about the oaths or affirmations.
The evidence I shall give
Oh, okay,
will be
no
the
worries.
truth.
Didn't know that.
The whole truth and nothing but the truth.
The whole truth, but nothing but the truth.
Alright, thank you.
Alright, bailiff, you can go back to where you were before.
Okay. You may begin with your questioning for the client, for the accused.
Your Honor, may I approach the witness box?
You may.
Ricardo, just stand at the corner near the magistrates.
Right, Mr. Bellick, let's just start where your day started here before all of this tragedy went down today. Could you just describe what you were doing up in the hills today with your farming equipment and your vehicle today?
Thanks, Mike.
I was just planning to make some coffee, and you know, it was just a peaceful day.
Just a peaceful day, enjoying some nature.
Yeah, just enjoying the, you know, observing.
Harvesting some coffee seeds, I believe. What's your background, if I might ask?
Oh, what's my background? Well, I was just getting ready. You know, I'm working early for Christmas at the end of the year.
Your ethnicity?
Oh, my ethnicity? Oh, I'm Australian.
Australian, Italian, possibly?
No, not Italian.
Okay, maybe just thought from the last name
Objection relevance?
Just try. Mr. Bellick, can you please describe your immediate feelings and reaction upon seeing multiple armed officers running towards you whilst minding your own business?
I was scared and I was intimidated because they came out so far.
Did they have guns pointed at you at the time?
They did point their guns at me.
Objection leading question?
Sustained. You may rephrase.
I'm simply trying to get the most accurate picture here of what happened today. I'm not sure how much simpler I can put it. Mr. Bellick, when the police officers came over the hill, I really don't know how I can say it. They had guns pointed at him. And what happened after the police officers arrived at the scene?
What happened? Like, do you mean like when they got there? Or...
Yeah, how are you feeling? Did they place you in cuffs?
Objection leading question.
Sustained.
That's all for my line of questioning today, Your Honor. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. Prosecution, would you like to cross-examine the witness?
Yes, Your Honor. May I please approach the witness box?
You may.
Hey, sir, how do you wish for me to refer to you today?
Just call me JJ.
Okay, JJ. So, when police arrived on scene, how were you feeling?
I was pretty scared, to be honest, because they had their guns out and they were coming towards.
Right, and did you go away from the police officers anyway?
Objection, Your Honor.
What is your objection?
Speculation. The intent has not been provided in evidence of my client going away from police as
It
from
was
the prosecution.
mentioned in the stat
It's
deck.
mentioned in the stat deck.
It's up to you whether to decide that's sufficient evidence.
We are going for a fail to stop the police charge. I think it is quite crucial evidence to see if he did attempt to leave the police officers.
Overruled. You may continue with your line of questioning.
Right. So during this entire situation, did you attempt to remove yourself from it? Is a very simple way of putting it.
I was in my vehicle and they pointed guns.
Right, but you're not answering my question. Did you attempt to leave the scene at all?
Objection, Your Honor.
Go ahead with your objection.
Argumentative. Fear does not imply guilt. My client was fearful of his life due to the officers pointing guns at him out of nowhere.
Sustained.
Alright. Are you aware that there were drugs found on your person?
Objection, Your Honor.
Yes.
Relevance, due to the legality of the search itself is in question today. Are we able to use said drugs in evidence?
We will bring your motion forward during the evidence section.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Apart from that, overruled.
My question stands.
What's your question again?
Were you aware that there were drugs on your person?
I just make coffee. That's what I do. I didn't know they were drugs.
Were you aware that there were drugs in your vehicle?
Objection, Your Honor. Leading question.
Sustained.
Are you aware of all the items that were in your vehicle at the stage of your arrest?
Yes, I was.
You were aware of every single item inside of your vehicle?
Yeah, I mean, I had water in it.
Right, and just confirming, what kind of seeds were you growing?
Cocoa seeds that are used to make coffee.
You're aware that cocoa is not an ingredient in coffee, right? Cacao is.
But it's used to make coffee. So.
Objection, Your Honor. Speculation.
That's not speculation.
The prosecution today are not barristers. They don't work at coffee shops.
It's pretty.
Prosecution, please stop arguing.
Thank you.
May you please repeat your objection?
Relevance. The prosecution today is not an expert in coffee making, nor is he a qualified barrister at any cafe in Melbourne.
Not barrister.
Overruled.
Okay, so are you aware that cocoa is not an ingredient in coffee?
Objection again.
Yes.
Are we really here to argue over semantics, whether it's cocoa or cacao? Your Honor, I don't believe this is relevant at all.
Sustained.
Righto.
Sorry.
Oh,
Sorry.
No, you're right. Let me just grab my glasses here. You can have a head injury. That's all good.
I'm sorry.
No, you're all good.
Can I just have 1 moment to gather my thoughts really quickly? I have some other questions written down here. I just need to go over them.
You may.
Anyone up here got med kits just in case they're requested, or do you want me to go down and grab some?
I have some kits.
Easy, all good.
I do only have one though. Only one, so I think you might, but
That'll be fine.
Was the place that you were growing seeds in a public area?
I believe that it was a public area, yes.
Prosecution.
All right. Could I just go to the sidebar with the magistrate and the defense counsel?
You may approach the bar.
May I approach?
You may.
Where did you get the seeds that you were growing with?
Given them from a nice lady.
Nice lady. Have you met?
Oh. That was interesting. Different sort of head pop. Just very instant. Never had one like that before. Something was tripped. Apparently. Interesting. Interesting. Now, I'll fly back in and do what I have to.
We now does the prosecution wish to call any witnesses to the stand at this time?
Not at this stage, Your Honour.
Perfect. We're now going to move on to the analysis of evidence. So, if the prosecution or the defence would like to analyse their evidence, present their evidence to the court.
Your Honour, may I?
Yes.
Alright, so if we refer to Exhibit 1, it is a statutory declaration from a Joey Windsor, I believe. It's saying, you know, kind of just a basic crime, who was on scene. These officers are high-ranking officers in the Melbourne Police Department. It's also stating who was in Pol Air at the time. So Pol Air was patrolling the Palomino Highlands, at which point it saw a mule truck parked on the mountain near a cliff edge, and one male taking care of some plants near the vehicle. The pilot authorized a landing next to
a witness check
the
or
vehicle so
whatever,
officers
a
can
welfare
go
check.
talk to the
And
individual.
someone
and see
came on
what,
the radio after you
he
head
was
popped.
up to.
Okay.
And asked
and
was everything
to see
alright?
if he was manufacturing any drugs.
So the bailiff must have pressed the
Senior
muscle
Constable
by
Windsor
accident.
and
Yeah, or
special,
someone did.
Sorry.
Yeah,
Special
we
Constable
got it all
Windsor and
sorted
Senior
out.
Constable,
Thank you, appreciate that.
No worries,
Ashley,
you're welcome.
disembarked from
Can't
the
do much when they hit pop.
helicopter and shouted down to the
Exactly, no, you're
suspect
pretty
to
much,
stay where he was so officers could discuss his activities.
yeah.
Once he saw the officers getting out of their helicopter, he ceased his activities and attempted to get in his truck and flee. While he did this, three aforementioned officers chased on foot, and Polo tracked the vehicle for about 50 meters until it fell down a cliff towards the water and became stuck on some rocks, forcing Mr. Bellick to surrender himself to police.
Yeah.
The offender was taken into
I can
police
definitely,
custody for evading
tell
police
that
as he attempted
OPPs
to
get
drive away,
annoyed by it.
despite clearly being told not to.
Yep.
Once this happened,
He's within his right to object.
Sergeant Costello had landed Pole and drove to the scene in,
even that
with a
might be
vehicle
annoying.
to transport the
doing
suspect
all
back
the
to the
time.
station. Whilst the officers waited for a
Yeah,
car unit, Mr.
usually
Bellick was
vice
searched
versa, always
on the scene by
not happy with
Special
questions.
Senior
Yeah.
Constable Windsor, which resulted in
Special.
19mm Special Constable, sorry, which resulted in 19 9mm pistol, which is not legally allowed to own. I'll refer back to evidence in a second. 47 cocaine leaves, which
go
were
back to where I
confiscated at
was.
the scene, and a
Alright,
shovel
no
that was
worries.
later confiscated at the station due to
If
officer
you need me,
safety
just
and
give me a
stored
yell
in a
over radio.
police evidence lockup.
What's that?
Mr. Bellick's vehicle
If you
and
need me, just give me a yell
was
over
searched and
radio.
discovered to have a further 814 cocaine leaves, which were loaded into the police vehicle and transported to Mel 900, where it was tested in a forensic lab. Right, so that is the Exhibit 1. I'll just refer to, I believe it is Exhibit 9. This shows the licenses that Mr. Bellick has. Mr. Bellick has his handgun license, yes, but does not have any of his long arm licenses. And a firearm was found on his person when he was arrested. So that is kind of the breach of that there. Now, if I refer to... Oh,
Just
sorry?
quickly, may I confirm, he wasn't carrying a long-armed weapon, was he?
No, it's carry a weapon concealed without legal authority. It wasn't a long-armed weapon. It's a 9mm standard pistol.
Yes, thank you.
Right. This is the stat deck from Ben Costello himself. Ben Costello was at 8:45 a.m. of this morning. Was piloting and responding to another call inside the police helicopter alongside Special Constable Joey.
Sorry,
I'm
could you
sorry.
please refer to the exhibits, which one this is?
This is Exhibit 2, the second stat deck.
Perfect.
So all the officers involved are listed there. However, while responding to the call, officers inside the helicopter notified me of a van on the side of an island. They turned the helicopter around and checked the individual out and came back for another about 5 minutes later and landed on the hill just above, dropping the other officers in the helicopter to go apprehend the individual that was believed to be growing some kind of drug. So this was all just suspected at this stage. The individual was put into custody by the other officers and myself and tested, and this is a bit put into custody by other officers and myself, then tested the believed to be drugs that was handed to himself. So it was obviously searched there, although not stated. So that was a sort of brief stat deck there, just showing the another test of the drugs that were found on the defendant today. If we now go and refer to Exhibit 3, it's a repeat of Exhibit 2. Sorry about that. Whilst that gets fixed, we'll just have a look at Exhibit 4. It's just the license confirming that the person apprehended is JJ Bellick, and the image of the pockets. Inside his pockets, there is a shovel, obviously used for cultivation of plants, water, or I'm going to assume either drinking or cultivating plants, and then 47 cocaine leaves, as well as 100 Islamo and 1 pistol. Again, this is an illegal firearm, as he is not licensed.
Okay, and we're referring to Exhibit 2 still, 3 still, correct?
That's Exhibit 4. We're just getting Exhibit 3 fixed. Is that fixed yet, Lexi?
Unfortunately, the officer posted the exact same one twice.
Okay, we'll just move on then. So if we have a look at Exhibit 5 now, this is a snippet of the inside of Mr. Bellick's vehicle. Inside of his vehicle is 814 cocaine leaves. Now, if these leaves hit the streets, it would be devastating for civilians. There is also 87 water bottles, a absurdly large amount of water bottles that show it was for the growing of the seeds that were also found in the vehicle, with 8 coca seeds found in his vehicle. Below that, there is just a plate search of the vehicle, as well as the plate being shown up in the vehicle trunk search. It's a I can't say that word. It's a Mule Mark IV. It is a unregistered vehicle, and it is registered to a... Sorry, it is not currently registered, and it expires... What the... okay, that must just be a glitch in the MDT there. But it's owned by JJ Bellick, as seen there. If we then refer to Exhibit 6, it's just the testing of the drugs found. So they tested all 814 leaves, and they ran that through the machine. Referring to Exhibit 6, the drugs did return to a positive indication for cocaine. So just 6 and 7 there, Your Honour, if you could just refer to those.
Yeah.
Exhibit 8 is a,
just
I believe...
Just before we continue, I believe it's important that we get the notice for motion from Mr. McLeish, which probably should have been done at the start of the evidence.
Oh, I do apologise for that. Very sorry,
That's
Your
okay.
Honour.
Sorry,
No,
that was my fault.
Yeah, unfortunately, Your Honour, the defence will make the argument that the majority of the evidence submitted today by the prosecution is not admissible in court. Just give me a minute here to bring that up.
That's okay.
Okay. Evidence section 4 through 10 today is submitted by the prosecution points out holes in the story which is being told today to the courts. You just gave me a minute here to gather the evidence.
That's okay. Are you still...
Okay.
Including Exhibit 9?
4 through 10. So 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Okay.
Your Honour, we will argue that evidence numbers 4 through 10 were obtained illegally and should be deemed inadmissible in court. As police actions were not justified by law or the VicPol standard operating procedures, as you'll see in the police handbook. Evidence
Objection,
section.
Your Honour.
This is I don't think you can object to.
We can object to this.
Okay.
What is your objection?
So I just have a couple questions about the handbook here. So one, this is just I guess I can say in the city police policy sort of thing. And another question I had is, this is confidential police information. Just curious if you subpoenaed this.
What is your objection?
This is general knowledge available to the public. It is the citizens' right to understand their legal rights with police procedures. How are we? What kind of precedent are we going to set forward here today if police can just make searches and detain anyone they want without any reasonable suspicion?
Okay, prosecution may continue with their objection.
The Melbourne Police Handbook is a confidential handbook about, you know, police and how they should act on their job here. I'm just curious on how the defence actually got hand on of this information, as it is confidential. Was there a subpoena placed in? What's the go with that?
Where does it state that it's confidential?
So
could you please just wait, Mr. McLeish?
Sorry,
I'm just trying to find out if it is confidential. Just trying to receive that information. Give me 2 moments. So I believe that the document is not available to the public, but it is not classed as confidential, nor does it say anywhere on the document that it is confidential.
Right. Could we talk to possibly Victorian Police leadership in regards to this documentation? As I just don't want it to possibly endanger police activities in the future after this case.
When would you like to speak to them?
I could see if there is any Victorian Police leadership around
Your
now,
Honour,
and I could...
if I might add, this is just simply being used in the context of the law. We are in a courtroom today. We're here to discuss the law. Has it been applied correctly, or has it been violated?
I will allow the handbook to be used for these the evidence submitted today.
Thank you, Your Honor. Can I continue with my motion,
Can-
please?
Oh.
Can we add on top of that as well, if Rain wants to do it?
No, we'll bring that up after he presents his evidence here.
May I proceed?
You may.
Oh, Your Honor, just sorry. Before I'm very sorry about this. Could I actually request a 5-minute recess just before this, just to have a look at some things here and see?
Yeah,
Just
so
a
we'll
brief
take
5-minute
a
recess.
short 5-minute recess. The
Thank
court
you,
is
Your
now
Honor.
in recess.
Contact your inspector to confirm the government status, or contact someone from the government as soon as possible.
I'll see if we have any in-city options.
Ford Robinson is on duty.
Yeah, I'll
Can we get
contact
him to
Ford.
come and testify that
I'll give him a
this is
phone call now.
Josh, can someone send me an up-to-date link to that?
Wayne?
I'm just going to check the document, see if anything about it says top secret. Someone can send a link to it ASAP for me.
What's the soul, sorry?
Can you send me a link to your police manual ASAP?
Yeah, we'll do.
Thank you. Not too bad.
Where is it? What do I have?
You got that link yet?
When the lawyers are free, may I have please both lawyers to approach the stand or the bench.
Sure, Your Honor.
I'll go quickly see what this is.
Who fucking wrote this book? There's no fucking top secret notes or anything on there. For fuck's sake.
I have no idea.
This is fucking so stupid. This is gonna get this matter thrown out because some fuckwit didn't put confidential at the top. Do you know how easy it is? You just add a little watermark.
Yeah, I know.
God. I'm gonna have a fucking colony at Loki later.
That's what I didn't understand as soon as I got inducted into the police, that they had no confidentiality and stuff on it. I was like, what the frick is this?
Oh, God, I'm gonna go give legal advice now to get this sorted.
The court will now be back in session. All please be seated. Okay, so we were continuing on with the notice of motion. If Mr.
Sure, Your
Nicholas
Honour.
would like to continue.
Just give me a minute here. Just to readjust. First of all, Your Honour, I would really like to highlight the effort made here by the prosecution to cover up what is simply
Objection.
Can you object to evidence? Sorry, I'm just... Your Honour? I haven't been able to finish a single point today in my evidence.
Your Honour, we should be allowed to object.
I hadn't even finished the point, so I'm not sure what there is to object to.
Defense, what's the reason for the objection?
The objection is I wish for the entire handbook to be struck, and if the
It is.
handbook is...
It has been.
Right.
What's the reason for that one being struck today?
So you're not able to use it due to the highly confidential nature, which has been identified by
okay.
the government officials, as well as a police superintendent.
Understood. Your Honour, I'm happy for that to be struck today. If I
But
might...
you may continue with your motion.
If I may continue, just to state one point.
That's okay.
I think the fact that the prosecution have gone to such lengths to strike the simple 2 pages from the police handbook today really shows their intentions in the arrest made today. The handbook was used simply to inform the court today of the citizen's right when police make an arrest and the right for their personal belongings to be searched. The fact that the prosecution today have decided to strike this from evidence just further proves my point that there was in fact a violation of operating procedures. I would also like to raise the fact that despite there being over 4 officers on the scene, none of them essentially refused to provide body cam evidence leading to the arrest, to which my client was placed in handcuffs and his belongings were searched.
Objection, Your Honour.
What is your objection?
They didn't refuse to provide body cam. There was no body cam.
Your Honour, whether there was or wasn't any body cam is all up for speculation. I would simply like to point out the lack of evidence today, whether that was intentional or not. This highlights the holes in the story today from the prosecution. If you would look at section 1 and 2, which are the same document, the statutory declaration from the arresting officers today state the following, if I might just pull it up.
Yes, yeah.
Sorry, exhibits 2 and 3.
Okay.
Statutory declaration today states, and I quote, "I turned around the helicopter and checked the individual out, then came back 5 minutes later, landed on a hill, and gathered the other officers to apprehend the individual that was believed to be growing some kind of drug paraphernalia. The individual was then put into custody by other officers and myself and tested to what was believed to be drugs. At what point in this statutory declaration was my client evading? Was he failing to stop for police? I will accept that the prosecution today has brought forward the statutory declaration evidence section 1 stating
May I confirm? Are you talking about the? Are you highlighting the inconsistencies between all three?
Correct, Your Honor. I'm highlighting the inconsistencies between the statutory declarations and the failure to provide any video or photo evidence that my client failed to stop the police today. The reason I make such a strong point of this is because the entire reason that he was searched and detained was that he allegedly failed to stop the police. I do not believe that there is sufficient evidence to prove beyond reasonable doubt that my client failed to stop the police. Therefore, all charges should be dropped, and evidence exhibits 4 through 10 should also be excluded from the case file today, Your Honor. That concludes my motion to suppress evidence.
Okay, thank you. Do you have any other evidence that you would like to bring, or?
Your Honor, my evidence was struck from the case file, mainly around the standard operating procedures of police, which I believe is every citizen. It's every
if
citizen.
it's struck, then.
Could you please
no
speak over the defense without an objection?
Okay, objection.
Objection.
What is your objection?
If it's struck from the records, I don't know why it's necessary for him to bring it up now.
I'm not.
It's already been struck. You're
Not if it has weapons on it.
My point here. I was not referring to the.
And he can't have any weapons at all on him.
The prosecution today decided to strike the handbook from the evidence.
Sorry.
I believe it is every citizen's right to know what their rights are around, especially things such as police. And I think that the fact that they've decided to strike that today has displayed a clear admission of guilt and wrongdoing on the prosecution's behalf.
Your Honor, if I may.
I just have a question for the prosecution.
Yes, Your Honor.
May you please read to the court today your policies for making an arrest? Just for confirmation.
For making an arrest?
Yes, to arrest a suspect.
So, I will not be bringing up police policy, but I can bring up some policies such as the Crimes Act 1958, Section 459, and the Drugs, Poisons, and Controlled Substances Act 1981, Section 82.
Objection, Your Honor. Relevance. And relevance and argumentative.
It's not argumentative, Your Honor. We're trying to prove our procedures.
Could you please not talk over the objection, prosecution? I am ordering you to provide your policies for an arrest.
Right. So, are you telling me to refer to the handbook in terms of our policies for our arrest, or are you trying to get me to find the policy?
Wherever you get your policies for an arrest, wherever you were guided and given your information for that.
Right. Okay. May I call a recess?
We may call a 3-minute recess.
Yes, Your Honor.
Your Honor, if I might add one last thing here, I've been part of a few cases now where the OPP himself has approached the witness box to ask the arresting officer, "Hey, what are your general procedures around an arrest? How do you make an arrest?" It's not something that's hidden from public knowledge. It's something that is highlighted just to provide clarification on police procedures. I don't understand why this is something that needs to be hidden and shut off from the courts here today. But I'll leave you to it, Your Honor.
Maybe go to recess now, Your Honor.
Okay, thank you. Right, we may go to the recess.
Lucky John.
Your inspector's been pre-notified.
Thanks for asking.
Hey, one thing, guys. Am I able to quickly reply, or
Yeah.
do you want me to wait?
You can quickly. Yeah.
No, it's alright. Wait, I was gonna say I was gonna still. I was gonna think about doing something like that might take a while. No, that's fine.
If you need to reply, feel free.
No, that's fine. I just wanted to quickly do something with my brain.
Yeah, no.
But it's fine.
That's all good.
You need to bring this up in the trial, please.
Sorry, what was that?
This isn't something that should be brought up in a stand.
Basically, just stand here.
Your Honour, I'm not here for
in
cash
front of
I'm
me.
just the advisory body and we pre-discussed
Right here in
this
front of
one.
this.
Yeah?
Yeah.
And what's the
I just need to translate to my prosecutors here because I'm just giving legal advice to them. My understanding is you've knocked back
off the
police
top of my head.
legislative powers.
He's using the
just,
dream time laws, not the
just stand
Melbourne
here and
laws.
normally when they're not at the front
Your
desk
Honour, I really can't
and
hear you.
elsewhere you
Apologies,
face wherever they are. So normally you just
According to my
face
prosecutors, they're just having a
directly
bit
towards
of
the door
difficulty understanding the legislation.
while keeping an
They've,
eye on the
one of them
courtroom.
apparently tried to state active
Okay.
accepted city legislation and it was shut
Yeah.
down.
But when they're right next to the magistrates, you always face them. That way you can rush in and, you know, tackle them or whatever you might need to do if you need to.
The problem is that's not the accepted arrest.
Yeah,
When
if they
translating to
go
them, that's not the
try to
accepted,
climb on that
arrest powers
desk
for police.
or
That's not
go
used
past
to,
the desk in any shape or
utilise their
form,
arrest, if that makes sense,
you
Your
are
Honour.
to step in.
Do I tackle or tase?
It depends.
I can,
You
of course,
use
I'll
your
make sure
words
that's
to start
translated
with,
to them. Sorry, Your Honour.
and then if you can tackle, try to tackle.
Go to the
If
Victorian
not,
legislation
then you
website
look
and
at
send him
using
copies
your
of the
taser.
legislation.
Your Honour,
458.
And if they got a
this
weapon,
is
then
what I'm trying to say. They're
you
bringing up
use your
dream
pistol.
time laws, like real,
So do I actually like
because
this and I'll hold it up and
because
I'll
they
go
can't
shoot it
find.
and if they try to
Obviously, it says
shoot
it
me, I
in the
So first,
handbook. if I'm
you
allowed
use
to
your
use
Trying to
words.
accept.
Use your words. If they,
so
you know, as you're moving towards them, you use your words.
if you
Just
wanna
tell them to
clarify
stop,
with Orson
because obviously it takes
or
you a
King
minute to
here,
get to them.
They can only use
And
dream
then
time laws when
you,
there's a charge that something happened. That
then
the
you
charge isn't like matched
look
up with
at
something
using your
with a
weapons if need be and
so they need to
tackling.
bring it in. Anyways, you might want
You
to
go.
clarify
my
that with-
words to tackle to tase a
Yes. Yes.
May I call Mr. Carts to the stand today? To the bench.
Oh, can we approach True then?
You may.
Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah, no dramas. Thanks, mate. Oh yeah, if you wanna, we can go up there. I'll have a chat with them. Yeah, no worries. Yeah, no worries. I'm just reading through this file at the moment. I mean, from what I've been told.
Just pop it in my head for a sec.
Would you be able to ask the bailiff if myself and the superintendent can go up there and have a chat after they've finished? Hello?
Oh, hey, sorry, I was just in my head for a second. I'm back.
Would you be able to ready into the bailiff and ask if he can ask the magistrate if the superintendent and I can approach the bench after they finish that discussion quickly?
Yeah, no worries. Hey bailiff, can you, when you get a second, can you ask the magistrates if the superintendent and Sam can approach the bench when they've finished talking there?
I found that.
Do you also have any food in?
Thank you. I got some food. Yeah,
I am literally about to drop.
Do you need drink as well?
No.
No,
Just
oh,
need
good.
food.
Yeah, there you go. You can thank Mean Bean, you know.
Are we able to approach now?
Let me. I just asked.
Yeah.
They're gonna get us in contempt if we don't refer to them.
If you can get me up there.
The prosecution may call a witness.
Your Honour, may I please call forward Superintendent Loki Drax with the Melbourne Police Department?
You may.
Your Honour, can I just clarify, are witnesses able to be brought forward after the...
Can I also be called up, please?
Give me 1 second to confirm.
After the fact.
Can we also bring up Samantha as well, please?
How are you today?
They
Not
may
bad,
be
yourself?
able to brought to
That's
the
good,
stand
I'm good,
until the
thanks.
closing arguments are made.
No
Thank
worries.
you, Your Honour.
So if I could call the superintendent to the stand.
You want to just take your seat for a minute, Sam?
Alrighty, may I please approach the witness box?
You may.
Okay, Superintendent Loki Drax. Could you just will the court
Don't worry about it.
explain to me why
Okay.
we have seek to strike the police handbook from the record?
Yep. So the police handbook is a confidential piece of information. I've been advised that one of
Tell the
the
bailiff to
lawyers
disregard
that
my
are currently using the handbook
disregard
against
my-
us at this stage. I also would like to question how they've obtained this piece of information.
That can be used in a separate court case if you feel that they've obtained that.
Bailiff
illegally.
disregard Sam's request.
Yep, that's fine. Sorry, Wade, you had any further questions for that?
Yes, the lawyer is no longer using the handbook, but as a magistrate, I am ordering the prosecution to bring up the handbook for 3 pages in regards to their policies and procedures for making an arrest, search and seizure, and frisking a suspect.
Yep. Might I also just clarify that the policies for police do not actually affect the police powers. Basically, just want to make that clear, so you guys don't.
If that policies and procedures, that handbook, if that's made for police officers to follow, then why aren't they meant to follow it?
I did not state that they haven't followed it in this case. If I could get a bit more understanding of what's actually happened in terms of the arrest, I can actually clearly outline if an officer has done something incorrectly.
Were you there on the scene of to date?
No, I was not. However, I can explain.
Have you been informed of what's happened to date?
I've been given a brief explanation of Polair witnessing someone potentially growing. They've gone to investigate. The individuals then fled, engaging in a police pursuit.
Your Honours. Speculation. There is insufficient evidence to provide today that my client today fled from police.
Sustained.
Stated.
Your Honour, I'm just explaining what I've been advised, so I'm not actually quoting the exact situations happened. Just giving you a bit of an understanding of what I've been told, just so you can clarify if that is correct.
Okay. You may continue.
Yeah, so basically Polaires had witnessed someone potentially growing narcotics. They have gone to investigate. They've advised the individual to just stay where he was, but he's then gone and fled. Pursuit was initiated. The suspect was then later apprehended, and then the vehicle had been searched as well as his person. And then obviously he's been detained with confirmed narcotics. That's what I've been advised currently to date.
Okay, if you give me 2 moments. Is there any further questions from the prosecution?
Are police in their everyday duties allowed to bring up, I guess, dream time legislation in their everyday duties, conducting their police activities?
Generally, yes, we have our police powers that are based off the actual legislation.
Objection,
in terms
Your
of
Honour.
arrest.
Go ahead.
Speculation, I would like some evidence to be provided in writing besides the existing laws and charges register that state that additional laws can be brought in.
Sustained.
Your Honour, if I may.
You may.
As this is a courthouse, this is essentially common law.
Yes. If you're going to be using something as evidence, it needs to be within the case file.
Is the superintendent not under oath?
He is indeed. It's whatever evidence he is providing or stating, it needs to be within the case file.
Do you want me to get do you want me to get him to write it down? Like, he's the superintendent. He's one of the police policymakers. I'm sure he's sure on how police are able to conduct their police activities.
That's not what the question was.
Your Honour, if I may.
You may.
So look, based off the situation I've heard of the information regarding the arrest today, based off the information, basically it seems reasonable for the arrest that occurred today. The suspect had fled. If police had reasonable suspicion to believe that the individual might have been growing narcotics or in some sort of manufacturing narcotics, and then the individual had fled, basically not stopping for police, which is a crime in itself. Evading police is an indictable offence. I believe police have done the correct procedure of arresting that individual and conducting a search.
May I ask you, are the police officers specially trained to detect and cite narcotic cultivations?
All police have the ability to basically investigate a crime that's been committed, right? So we do have a specialist team called Canine. They also assist with narcotics division, but it's not a requirement.
My question here, I'll rephrase my question to you. Were the police officers that were in the helicopter specially trained to spot narcotic cultivations?
Police have the ability.
Like they claim they did.
So police have the ability to obviously search for crime that's being committed, right? With the use of Polair, it's an extensive resource that we have. Generally, we do operations every now and then, but police have free reins to use that resource itself to spot potential crimes that are being committed.
Objection,
so that's,
Your Honour.
You go ahead.
Speculation around the cultivation of narcotics. There was no confirmation until the items were searched in the police facility after the arrest was made.
That was my question. Are the police officers trained to spot narcotic cultivation
visually,
like they state they did from the helicopter, visually?
Well, Your Honour, police are trained in multiple areas within our within the academy. Through their recruit phase, they go through a lot of areas that cover narcotics as well as just general arrests altogether. If they believe that they've spotted that someone was potentially growing and manufacturing narcotics, that is well within their right if they believe that.
My question there is, how do they know that visually by looking at someone sitting on a hill with plants? How can they confirm that was possibly narcotics?
Well, Your Honour, that's the whole point of investigations, right? So police went down there to investigate what was happening. So they believed that a potential crime was being committed. So they've requested units to go down there and search, to investigate what was going on. But unfortunately, the individual fled before he could explain, which then obviously
again, Your
initiated
Honour.
a pursuit.
Speculation around the fleeing.
It's stated in the stat deck, Your Honour, that...
Overruled. Is there any further... That concludes my questioning. Is there any further question from the prosecution?
Not from Loki today, Your Honour. I'm sure the defence can co-question if he needs to.
I would like the prosecution to return to the...
Your Honour.
Well, yes.
This guy's smoking.
Could you please not smoke in the courthouse? Thank you.
Your Honour, before I
believe
return
it's-
to the...
I believe he's the magistrate too, Your Honour.
That would be all from the prosecution. Could you please... defence, would you like to cross-examine the witness?
Bailiff, go back.
Yes, please.
Sorry, Your Honour, I just
Or
want to make
bill
sure
or something that I could actually read this stuff.
Take your time.
Are we good to
Oh.
go here?
You mind if I go in an office or something?
Yeah, I would. I just can't hear over the... Okay.
There is to be no smoking in the
May
courthouse,
I
full
approach the witness
stop.
box, Your Honour?
You may.
He can only smoke outside.
Sorry, I didn't catch your name there before, officer.
Superintendent Loki Drax.
Loki Drax. Okay. I just wanted to confirm a few things about how police use their powers.
Yep.
Can you confirm the specific criteria required under Big Pole procedures to establish reasonable suspicion prior to a search?
Do you want me to quote the handbook, or do you want me to just explain from my experience?
I just want to know what classifies as reasonable suspicion.
So, is there a context, like is there a certain scene you want me to kind of answer that reasonable suspicion to? If you want to give me like an example scene, or do you want to base it off what we've had today?
Let me have a quick look.
So there's multiple situations that could occur for an officer to deem something as reasonable suspicion.
Yeah, I would just like a general overview of what you would count as reasonable. If someone was, say, standing in a field, would you just a general overview of what is grounds for reasonable suspicion?
Look, I don't know where the events took place exactly, but there are certain areas that involve a lot of manufacturing of drugs. So, for example, if I was in Polair and I noticed some individual planting something in a suspicious area that looked like no vehicles could realistically get to, I would potentially go and investigate, because for one, that individual that's potentially parked illegally in an area that he shouldn't be actually gaining access to. So that can be a reasonable suspicion for me to go down there and obviously investigate and ask what's going on. Is there a crime being potentially committed here? Obviously, the police officers at that time observed and assumed that he was potentially committing a crime in regards to manufacturing narcotics, especially with the use of a mule vehicle, which is a commonly known vehicle that we usually apprehend suspects with when they're manufacturing goods. So they've obviously, us as police would go down and investigate. If a suspect then begins to flee, it obviously turns into a whole new situation where we're trying to apprehend the suspect and arrest him because he's committed an indictable offence.
Right. Can I ask what in particular made the officers today suspicious of a? You said a suspicious area. Am I correct? What exactly about?
Objection, leading question.
I'm just trying to clarify about the leading events today.
Overruled.
What exactly about the patch of grass by the mountainside today meant that it was a suspicious area, if I might just ask that?
As I've noted before, I wasn't there to obviously witness the events. Just piecing together the situation. As I've noted before, there's known drug areas that individuals like to grow and manufacture narcotics.
Yep.
I can only assume that the officers were observing the individual for a decent amount of time. They probably noticed that the individual's in a certain location where a truck should not be going, and they've probably gone to investigate to see if he was potentially in the process of manufacturing goods. If the individual was innocent and he wasn't planning, if he wasn't growing anything, what would be the reason for him to flee the scene?
I ask a question to the witness, sorry. Mr. McLeish?
Oh, go for it.
I'm just going to butt in here. I'm just wondering in regards to, you said that the reasonable suspicion was that he was in a location that was not easily accessible by normal vehicles, correct?
Sorry about that. God.
God.
Am I correct?
No.
Sorry, Your Honor, I was struck. Could you repeat that, please?
You stated that the van, this is what sparked the suspicion, was that the mule was in a position that was not usually accessible by normal vehicles. Am I correct?
I use that as an example. As I noted before, I wasn't there for the event, so it's hard for me to explain on their behalf. As I've noted as well, I'm just piecing together information. There could have been a reason that the individual was in a location where it shouldn't have been, so they've gone to investigate. If they've obviously seen him planting or doing something down there, because as I've noted before, there's a lot of drug spots around the island, which police are often go and target.
Did the police consider that he might have been off-roading at all?
But Yeah, absolutely. But the whole point is, if they're investigating, going to approach it. What we do generally, we investigate, right? We don't immediately assume someone's committed a crime. We go to investigate the scene. These officers gone down there to go and obviously question the individual, and if they've observed that he was planting sunflower seeds or, you know, just standard plants or something like that, they would have left him alone. But if he, based off what the information the stat deck states, he began to flee, which is what police powers to go and arrest that individual because he's committing a crime.
Okay, and what are the policies for police landing the helicopter to let officers out? Is it?
So, Pole 32, the operation helicopter can actually land at anywhere within our policies. Saying that.
Can you refer to where this policy is, please?
That's in a separate police handbook. We don't have everything in the one.
Okay. And referring back to the police handbook, confirming you are stating that it cannot be used.
Sorry, where does it say that we cannot use it?
So, for the courts, you're stating that it cannot be used.
I don't recall saying that the police helicopter cannot be used. It
No,
can be
I
used.
said handbook.
Oh, the handbook. Sorry.
Yes.
I didn't say it couldn't be used. I was just trying to question where the individual obtained this confidential copy, because only police officers receive this and get their in-house training with it.
As I stated, this can be used in a separate. This question can be asked in a separate court case.
Yep, that's fine. So, what's the further question for this one? Sorry.
Your Honor, if I might add something.
Let me ask. The prosecution stated that we cannot use the book, but now you're stating that it can. Am I correct?
Your Honor, if I might just add something, a quick point here.
Yes, Mr. McLeish.
I would just really like to highlight here that the selective use of what can and can't be referred to in the handbook. You will note that the prosecution today tried to stop me from using the policies around conducting a search and an arrest. However, they are completely happy to refer to the handbook around the question you just asked about landing a helicopter. I would just like to raise that point.
Okay, thank you. Now, as I said before, the prosecution, I will state this again, as I will bring you to the stand for some questions. I will be ordering you for the 3 pages that were submitted in the case file. On behalf of the magistrates, I will be ordering you to refer to those documents, these 3 pages, and state the policies that are stated on that page. And failure to do so, you will be charged in contempt of court.
Your Honor, that's fine if you'd like me to state a policy,
Yes.
but I'm advising from a police experience of over 6 years within police of how we conduct our operations. I've clearly outlined how police can obviously understand reasonable suspicion and, you know, investigate further on crime. So I'm not sure exactly what you want me to quote from this handbook.
I think he's referring mainly to the prosecution. I think you've been dragged into the middle of something here that you might not know.
Sorry, Superintendent. Is there any further questions on your behalf for the Superintendent?
Look, I don't want to drag this on too long. I just wanted to ask one more thing. Are you aware
Yep.
of when criminals do plant and grow drugs, what kind of areas are they able to do this in? Does there have to be grass? Does there have to be soil?
Generally depends what it is. So, can I just ask, what was the narcotics that was found on your off the suspect today?
Sorry, what was that?
Could I just confirm what narcotics was confiscated today from the individual?
The issue is that evidence is pending investigation. I don't believe we're able to confirm until the magistrate has decided whether that can be used as evidence or not. So I'm just going to give you an example here. With any sort of illegal drug in city, I'm just asking where can those be planted? Does there need to be grass or soil or? I'm not talking about synthetic drugs, just ones that come out of the ground.
I mean, it depends on the type of drug that we're talking about. Multiple different types of drugs can be manufactured in multiple places, really. So, for example, marijuana or, say, cocaine, part of that process is obviously planting the actual drug. So that can be within soil or a grass-based area, but generally it's soil, yeah.
Correct. That's mainly what I was trying to ask. So grass or soil, that potentially could span over thousands of kilometres in the state of Victoria here. We have quite a big nature reserve. What I'm just trying to get at here is why this particular area was deemed to be suspicious and so forth. But that concludes my line of questioning, Your Honour, and I'm just highlighting that here today.
Thank you. The witness may return to the gallery.
Thank you.
Thank you. The prosecution, may I please get you to state the subsection of your handbook arresting a suspect?
Right, okay. One moment, please, Your Honour. So, arresting a suspect, part of the Victorian Police, and if we have a little looky here. An arrest is the act of taking another person into lawful custody for a specific offence, or if there was a warrant issued. Officers have discretion whether or not to effect an arrest. As a general rule, an arrest may be appropriate in the following circumstances: a serious offence to prevent the continuation or repetition of the offence, or the commission of other offences, the preservation of safety or welfare of any person, or harassment of a witness, to prevent the fabrication, concealment, loss, or destruction of evidence, or to enable forensic material to be obtained according to the Crimes and Forensic Procedures Act 2000. Method of arrest: the officer effecting the arrest should use absolute minimum use of force, identify themselves as a police officer if in plain clothes, lay their hands or touch the arrested person, advise the arrested person that they are under arrest on the grounds of the arrest and procedure, a warrant if applicable, and be inconspicuous as possible, and not unnecessary to delay the decision of the arrest, and treat the person under the arrest with courtesy, and afford no justification for allegations that the treatment was anything other than civil and reasonable. When arresting a suspect, we still have a duty of care to ensure no further injury occurs while in our custody. Any questions?
Okay. May you please approach the witness stand, just in case the defence has any questions for you, in regards to that.
Your Honour, do you also want to ask about the search and seizure
Yeah,
part
I will
of
be
that
asking
one?
about them next.
Okay.
Do you have any questions for that first slide?
Yes, I do. May I approach the witness box, Your Honour?
You may.
Okay. So today you've stated from your own words that an arrest is the act of taking another person into lawful custody for a specified offence or to pursue a warrant that was issued previously. I would like to ask you today, did my client, Mr. JJ Bellick, have an active warrant prior to the arrest?
No evidence has been given of that at this stage, but as it hasn't been stated at all, I'm going to assume, and here is assumed, that there was not a active warrant. I'm not 100% sure on that.
And an arrest was made as well. The other reason can be for a specified offence. What is the offence that you're bringing forward to the court today?
So the offence for the arrest was failed to stop for police or evade police. We're seeking failed to stop.
That's all I wanted to know.
Okay.
I do have some more questions around the search and
Oh my gosh, ow.
search and seizure. However, I'll ask the magistrate to do what he needs to do regarding
May you
that.
please state the slide for search and seizure followed by frisk and police search.
Okay, search and seizure. Search and seizure is an important part of policing. However, it is not without rules. To search and seizure an individual, you must have reasonable suspicion that they have committed a crime and/or that the person is in illegal possession of contraband. Reasonable suspicion applies to personnel who have been seen by a law enforcement individual who commit a crime or is suspected of a crime or is fleeing from the crime scene area. Emphasis on that. The suspects would be reasonably believed to be involved in such acts as drug sales, possession, cultivation of a drug, or firearms, or under arrest for another reason. You can.
Could you please follow the wording of the document?
I am.
That's okay, Your Honor. We can move on to the next slide if we want to. It's quite lengthy.
You may move to the next slide.
Frisk and police search. Frisk, non-invasive pat down. You have reasonable suspicion that someone has committed a crime or will be performing an FPO check or firearms order. You inform them that you will be performing a non-invasive pat down for any. Do you want me to skip to the actual search, or do you want me to go through?
Okay. Police search if you want.
If you have police search. If you have witnessed the suspect commit an offence, assault, evade, open carry, etc., or checking for hostages for illicit money. If the suspect has an active criminal warrant. If the suspect is under arrest for a charge. Yeah. Okay.
Sorry, mate. I don't mean to rush you there. I know it's quite lengthy. Your Honor, I just want to clarify again. We've established that there was no active warrant. The second reason here listed today is that you've witnessed the suspect commit an offence. Today, the alleged charge is fail to stop the police.
Correct.
I would just like to highlight the significant lack of evidence today on the charge of it failed to stop. Mainly the inconsistencies pointed out in the witness statement, which might I add is their only evidence for this charge. The
call to sheriffs.
Witness statement numbers, I believe, 1.
It's a statutory declaration.
Yeah, sheriffs, we chucked in a call in the
Stat
police
decks number 1 do
MDTP
not state
in regards to
the
one-time
evaded,
person with
however,
Dev.
the
Would you
other
like to
I would really like to
respond
point
if you're
out the
available?
holes in the story here. I will also add the fact that police were able to obtain photos of my client's pockets
Roger,
and the
received.
van.
Alright, thank you very much.
However,
Make
they
calls.
weren't able to obtain any photos of the alleged grow spot or anything leading up to the arrest. Whether that was intentional or not, I'll leave up to you to decide, but I think that's really says something here today.
Okay, thank you. I just have a question for the prosecution today.
Yes, Your Honor.
What is the reasoning that there is inconsistencies within the statutory declaration?
So, can you please actually state the inconsistencies? I do see that in one of the statutory declarations, they did not write down the same information exactly, but they did write
They never
down.
stated that the accused had fled the scene. They stated
Right,
that you guys
so-
talked to them and searched them.
Right, so is that the statutory declaration from...
Exhibit 1.
Exhibit 1? Are you sure?
I am 100% sure.
Right, can I refer?
From
back
Mr.
to-
Windsor.
Yeah, so the statutory declaration from Joey Windsor states, where am I?
I'm happy to read it up for you.
I've got this ready if you want me to summarise it, Your Honour.
Okay, yep.
Statutory declaration, evidence number 1.
Go ahead.
Yep. Just skipping to this part. So this is the one where they say that he flees. The offender got in his truck and proceeded to flee, and then allegedly chased on foot.
Oh, sorry. My apologies. I was.
No worries. And then I'll refer to exhibits 2 and 3. These are the other. This is the other
They're the
statutory
same
declaration. They're the same
stat
one.
deck.
This one simply states, I turned around the helicopter and checked out the individual, came back around 5 minutes later, landed on a hill, and then proceeded to apprehend the individual who was believed to be growing some kind of drug paraphernalia. The individual was then put into custody by other officers and then tested for the drugs. At no point does this statutory declaration mention any kind of search, which is the whole reason that they've come up with these charges today.
Okay. Now just give me 1 sec.
Hello. Can you hear me?
Yeah. Okay.
Cool.
Paraphernalia is...
Can you keep an eye on the recruit and
Sorry,
just
can
let me
you-
know how he does with the
It's stated
giving of the
they believe he was in possession of
charges
drug
if he does get
paraphernalia,
any?
correct?
Yeah, I can definitely keep it on him.
Yeah,
Okay,
thank you,
and,
appreciate it.
Drug paraphernalia.
Yeah, it's
is
just 'cause I've got
something
fly,
Like a,
so
all good.
Yeah,
a bong,
I'll catch you
like
around
something
later
used
somewhere.
To,
Yeah, no
consume
worries,
the
man.
drugs,
Yeah,
in
Good seeing you.
any
Yep,
form,
unfortunately
as
I
well
can't stick
as,
around any longer.
Cool, good.
Needles,
So I'll
etc.
see you later. Have a
Just
good one.
confirm that you
Later, mate.
believed he was in possession of them. Why?
SRF 016 is flying out. See you later.